Hello, and in this third video on freehand drawing the 3D objects, we're going to be picking up on where we left off from video A and B. So this is C, and let's have a see where we are. So I created this cube in the last video. Let's just try and spin this around a little bit here, and I tried to redraw it. And when I was redrawing this, let's just shift and right click there to reposition it. I was talking about points A, B, and C on the drawing, and look how now I've got my little menu here. So now I should, I hope, be able to have here, give me an A. Yes, an A. I think I might change color here so you can see it against the red block. This is going to be B, and there's C down there. So better late than never, I guess. Okay, so that's how I've translated that to A, B, and C. Good. Right, so let's just see. Can I hide tools? I want to get the eraser. There we go. Good. Okay, that's got rid of those. Oh, there we are. Wipe screen clear. That would have been helpful as well, wouldn't it? Oh, well, next time we'll try that. Right, okay, so what I want to do now is try and make a bit more of a complex object and then have a go at drawing that. And for this, I'm probably going to need a new piece of paper. So I've done double-sided on this piece here. Let's start a new sheet. Good. Okay, so I'm just going to zoom out a little bit here, and I'm going to bring in a new box. I think I might just go full size here. That might be easier. Let's click and drag a new box in here. I'm going to place it right there like that. Again, I'm positioning it quite carefully on the grid here so that they are aligned. And what I'm going to do here actually is now I'm going to drag this up so that they are touching like that. Beautiful. And then now with this block here, the new block selected, I'm going to come to this handle here. This shows it's 20 millimeters in height, and I'm going to bring this down and drag it down here to 10. And if that's a problem, I can simply click on that point, click on this text box, and just dial in 10, enter on the keyboard. And now I've got this little kind of series of steps. The last thing I'm going to do here is put a bounding box around both objects, and I'm going to go to, where is it now? There it is. Group. I'm going to group that together, and that now makes this into one solid block. Okay, that's pretty cool. I'm liking that a lot. Okay, and I'm going to try and draw this again now in 3D. Let's just select it, and to help myself here, I'm going to make this into a wireframe model. Now, at this point, I just want to talk a little bit more about the wireframe view here. You can see here that obviously, the object is filled in with this gray hatched kind of fill, but you can see all the wireframe views here, and they're not indicated in terms of, which is in front and which are hidden lines behind. Sometimes you get the hidden lines as dotted lines, which does help understanding a little bit, but in Tinkercad it doesn't do that. But as I right-click and rotate this around here, I can get into some very precarious scenarios. For example, if I just try and make it so that those two corners there, I'm trying to make these corners here align. If I do that, and of course, if I zoom out now, in fact, I've got to be careful here as well, because at the moment I am in perspective mode, I want to go to orthographic mode. There you go. There you go. Now, if I zoom in orthographic mode, things don't change. There, that looks pretty good there. If I do a drawing like that, and now, if I kind of look away from the screen and then look back at the screen, then is that obviously a 3D model? Or what I see actually here is like a diamond shape here, and is that what you call a rhombus? There, I think. Not a parallelogram. It's a parallelogram. That's what it is. Remember your maths. And there's just a weird polygon, isn't there? Really, there. There's an equilateral triangle. No, isosceles triangle, equilateral. I think it's an isosceles triangle. Equilateral has equal corners, doesn't it? And an isosceles triangle has symmetry around a midpoint. I hope I'm right there. And then here's another one. Okay, but it doesn't look like a 3D object. If I click on this and make it solid again, now it does look like a 3D object because, well, I can only see the visible edges and the visible faces. And I've also got, and we've not looked at this yet, I've also got the sides of the faces of the 3D object are shaded in different, slightly different tones of color to make it look more 3D as well. Anyway, we'll come back to that later. But if I go back to the 3D view, this is somewhat confusing. So what you can do with this is actually what's called isometric. If you have a drawing like this, where effectively these angles are 30 degrees to the horizontal, this angle here is 30 and this angle is 30 to the horizontal line, then you can get these very precarious situations. So for 3D drawing, I'm going to pull it slightly, whoop, slow down there, slow down. I left click, not right clicked. I'm going to right click and take it slightly out from that angle just to make it a little bit easier to see as a 3D shape. Okay, so enough of this chit chat. Let's just bring in the two screens again. And here we go. Let's try and draw that. So what I've got here then is a vertical edge. Just rotate the paper. Okay, I'm going to have this long line down here. Okay, this is also going to be, I'm going to make this a long line as well. I'm going to make it the same length. This is what I'm going to do. They're going to be parallel, same length. And then let's just think to myself, I want to make it so that this length here, if I get my pencil, go from the tip to where my thumb is for the height of that line, and then rotate this around like this, put a point there, then do the same again, put a point there. I'm kind of getting the proportions of the shape correct. Let's now do a vertical line there. Let's do a vertical line there. Okay, now I want to get a midpoint between these two lines. So for this, what I'm going to actually do here is in the same way, let's see, just measure that from thumb tip to pencil point from both sides. That's about in the middle. I'm okay with that. And then let's just try and pull that down like that. Aha! Okay, so what I've now got, effectively, look, I can use my drawing tools now. Oh, cool. What I've done is I've done a line there. There we go. I've done that line there. Okay, I've done that line there. I've done that line there. And I've done that line there. That's what I've done so far. Oh, and that line goes all the way up. But obviously, I don't want that line there. You know, I don't want to have that. In the long run, that will disappear. Oh, and I've done that line there. Oh, silly me. There we go. Okay. And again, in the long run, you know, that line there whoop, will disappear. And I'll get rid of that line as well. You know, that's eventually what I want. But at the moment, remember, I'm doing just construction lines. So all these are faint lines. Okay, so let's have a see. Now what I'm wanting to do here, let's go for a different color just to make things really exciting. Now what I'm going to do, oh, dear with me. Mouse control fail there, wasn't it? Okay, let's just try and do that again. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to do, whoops-a-daisy, all these parallel lines. Okay, they should be parallel. They should be on the 3D model in Tinkercad. Yeah. Oh dear, that was a fail. Okay, so back to the drawing here. Let's just try and take this across there, 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 there. I felt as if that was a lot more successful doing it on paper, freehand, than it was trying to do it on the computer. Now, in terms of this distance here, look, I'm now going to get my pencil here. That's from this corner to the midpoint. Let's bring my pencil around to here. There. That's what I want. It's going to be that point right there. Okay, let's take a vertical line up there. Magic. Let's now, I've got to be careful here because this is getting confusing. Look, there's this line here. That line there is going to start to cause confusion. Okay, and I want to work from a point here. Okay, that's this, that, let's have a see. I'm going to have to just clear the screen here. Let's go there and I go clear. Oh, how cool is that? Okay, then let's just zoom out here, pan across. Yeah, what I'm looking at here is this point here. Look, I'm going to call that A, purple A. Okay, this here is A. Okay, so now what I want to do is pull this line back. Now in the same way, because I did, let's see, I've got a line to pull back here as, no, I've got this line here. Yeah, what I'm going to do here is just get that distance again. that front distance there, and then just try and use that to try and map the rest of this out. So that's going back to about there, as it turns out. And then here, well, this, yeah, that's going back to about there. So let's have a see. Can I now join this together? That's going there. That's going vertically straight up. And then that's going there. Yeah, I'm liking this. Okay, let's just make the webcam here a little bit bigger so we can see all of this. And then now I want to go over the lines. I want to keep my visible edges to this 3D shape. Not happy about what happened at the bottom there. But this is nice. I'm not rushing any of this, just taking my time, building up my confidence. Here, I want to avoid kind of doing this pencil stroke here because I've got all this graphite under my wrist and I don't want to smudge the drawing or get graphite onto my palm. So I just rotated the page around there. Okay. That is looking really good. I could go over some of these lines a little bit more firmly, really make them kind of stand out. Okay, but that is looking really nice. So that is my interpretation of that drawing there. Now notice, of course, that some of my construction lines are a little bit too solid there. So really that construction line, needs to go. That was just causing a bit of confusion. And now if I come back to this view here, let's just get rid of the drawing. Let's just go, what am I doing here? Let's select the shape and let's go solid. And hopefully you can see now how the view in Tinkercad matches the view over here on my drawing. I think that's a pretty close approximation. That's pretty good indeed. So in the same way, I've done mine quite big here. You can experiment by doing these an awful lot smaller. The smaller you do them, the easier you should find them. So let's see if I just try and do this, because when you're doing it small, you can kind of like get these proportions correct a lot more easily. I'm just going to try and create this out here, something like that, something like that. That's going to be the midpoint. That's going to come down to there. That comes across to there. Okay, that's good. That small scale is much quicker and much easier to do than something large scale. And I would suggest with larger scale things, you just work with this technique of using your distance from your tip of your thumb to the tip of the pencil as a kind of measuring stick to make sure that things are all in proportion. Okay, that's the end of this video. I hope you found it useful. In the next one, we'll move on. I'll think about what that will involve in a second, but we will move on. Hopefully see you then.